Hey guys, it's Bill from Topaz. Hope you're doing well. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another episode where I've got a Bugatti next to me again. And the last Bugatti that we did for TopazSkin, we changed the whole color, the whole car to blue. In this case, you're thinking you probably noticed that there is blue carbon, stunning blue carbon that you have to pay a fortune for from Bugatti for it to look like this. In this car, don't worry, we're not going to be covering the blue carbon. We're going to be actually be doing a couple of other small details and touches, and also changing the white to a blue that's called Julie Blue. Now the car has come from Joe Macari. We're very good friends with them as well, and they have given us this car. They've given us a task to make this even more personalized than it is for the customer. Now the customer has just recently joined Instagram, so if you guys want to check out his collection, I'm going to link it below. Actually, I'm going to pop it up here. You'll be able to click on that and check out his Instagram page. But in the meantime, what I want to do is go through this car and explain to you why this car is going to be so epic towards the whole process and what it's going to look like at the end. Now the blue Julie actually is going to be matching his 250 short wheelbase. Yes, he's got Ferrari 250 short wheelbase. He wants to match the same color to that to make this car really blend into his collection. I mean, 1200 horsepower, one of the fastest convertibles I think in the world. So it's one of those cars that, I mean, is just phenomenal to have in our workshop. And I'm really glad that we're here and we're able to sort of customize it. Now, he didn't opt for vinyl because obviously a car at this standard, at this level, you're not going to really put vinyl on it. You're going to want to make sure it looks like factory as much as possible. So that's why we've opted to get Turpaskin putting on it. And I think it's going to benefit from it. So anyway, I'm going to catch up with you at the end of the video, but keep your eyes peeled because I'm not going to tell you exactly what we're doing to it. You're going to have to watch it. But it's going to be cool. Check it out.
As you can see, the car now is a stunning combination of pearl white and blue carbon fiber, but the customer wants to give it that extra personal touch to make it his own. The first step is to carefully strip the car in preparation for Turpaskin. We have technicians in-house that have years and years of experience working with cars of this caliber and are able to dismantle and, more importantly, fit back together any car with the greatest precision and care. This car is a little bit different to most of our Topazskin projects as the car itself doesn't need to go through the booth. Instead, just the white panels are being treated to transform them to the stunning blue Julie color that I mentioned. The first layer of Topazskin is the revolutionary peelable base coat. This is a rubbery layer that always allows Topazskin to be removed without leaving adhesive on the car. It also builds up the thickness of Turpaskin to help to protect the original paintwork. Once the base coat is sprayed on every panel, it is allowed to bake. Then we can move on to the good bit, the color. We're able to mix virtually any color in-house, giving a perfect match to the owner's Ferrari 250. This part of the process is just the same as painting a car normally. Our painters carefully spray each panel with as many layers as required, giving a deep blue metallic finish. Part of the magic of Turpaskin is that it uses real paint, hence why it looks like paint rather than a vinyl wrap. Next, Turpaskin clear coat gives the paint a glossy finish and further adds to the protection of the original paint. The customer has requested a very special touch on this car. We're going to paint the French flag under the rear spoiler in Topazskin. Yep, paint it on. You won't be able to see most of the time, but when the wing is up, this is going to look absolutely epic. The first step is to mask each section of the flag, measuring carefully to make sure it's perfectly spaced. Then we apply 3 colors of the French flags in steps, carefully not to overspray. And after a final coat of lacquer, it's done. How good does that look? Come on! Once the spraying is finished, it's time to level the TopazSkin to make sure there is no excessive orange peel. We need to make sure the finish is as good as OEM, if not better. Our detailers carefully sand every panel. This neutralizes the peaks and troughs in the clear coat, effectively removing any distortion. We carry out this process all over the car. If you miss even one spot, it would be so obvious when the car is done. Next, every panel is polished to remove the sanding marks and restore the gloss. At this point, crystal clear reflections start to come through. Look at that. This is quite similar to what we did when we do our level 5 details. It's only now that you can start to really appreciate the stunning blue that we've put underneath. Finally, we PPF the rest of the car. The TopazSkin is protection itself, so we don't need to protect it. However, all of the blue carbon fiber is still exposed, so like you have seen in many other videos, we protect every inch of it using our in-house designs, guaranteeing the maximum possible coverage and protection. We also heat lock every edge with warm air to further guarantee they don't lift. Once the PPF is done, our detailers go over the car once more to make sure that it's spotless and there are no imperfections. So without further ado, let's show you the finished result.
And there you have it, guys. That was the whole video for the Bugatti Veyron Vitesse. One of my favorite cars having in the workshop, because it's got such appeal to it. I mean, it's got such a stance when it's standing there in an elegant way as well. So just to do a recap of what we did, obviously before it looked great, but the customer wanted to just emphasize on some bits and take away from some bits. So the white that was on the cone and down the sides, he wanted to just hide away and blend it in with the blue, with the Julie blue, and it looks fantastic now. All the carbon has been paint protected. It's got film all over the carbon. It actually even has film on the sort of metal, the brushed aluminium on the engine lid, and that has all been protected, because again, these are all areas that could get potentially affected with stone chips or people leaning on it, etc., etc. Also, another touch from making it look aesthetically pleasing, we also added the French flag underneath the spoiler, and it being obviously a little nod to Bugatti, because obviously it's a French company, and also the actual customer's French as well. So he also was very happy with that to do it. And it looks great being done with skin. It just looks like a factory done item, which is always the best thing. And that's the reason why we started getting involved with skin, to be honest with you, is because we wanted the finish to be exactly like what you would get from the factory, or even better, rather than having it look like it's a vinyl where it would be above the surface. So it makes a massive difference to people like me who have a bit of OCD, just a little bit, and that makes a massive difference. Now, the customer was so happy with this and the way that the car looked, he's going to be sending us the MC12, the Maserati MC12, and that's going to be a phenomenal job, and that's going to be done in TopazSkin as well. It's going to be totally transformed. I'm not going to tell you exactly what color is going to be going into until the car comes. Keep your eyes peeled, because it's going to be a really epic video, that one. Seeing a Maserati MC12 being changed from one color to another color, it's just, anytime a car like that comes into our workshop, everyone just takes, you know, a moment of silence for it to come in. Anyway, I hope you liked that video. I'm going to catch you on the next one. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. If you haven't done already, click on the bell and you'll be notified of when that Maserati is going to be here. So I'll catch up with you on the next one. Thank you.